You take some deep breaths. Oh, my stomach's growling. Okay, Dreams of Jasmine 2.0. Here we go. I don't even know if I'm going to continue to call this channel Dreams of Jasmine. What I do know for sure is I just want to create, and I just want to document my life, and I just want to chat with people and build a community of like-minded individuals. Like, that's really all I want to do. But I wanted to come up here and kind of reset the room, giving you a little clubhouse talk there. I want to reset the room on my channel, and mainly it's because, you know, I think my tagline, my old tagline was something along the lines of being authentic and knowing that you're not alone. It's not that I wasn't being authentic in my day-to-day life, but it was difficult for me to get on YouTube and make videos and be authentic. You know, I talk to myself all the time, but talking to a camera is different. And I do have a journalism background, so I'm used to just like, you know, turning on evening news. Jasmine, good evening. My name is Jasmine, also known as Dreams of Jasmine, and today on justjasmine.com, you know, like that's what I'm used to turning on. That's what I'm used to doing. And I feel like those two things, like my authenticity and my training, were kind of colliding. Another thing is I'm a pretty introverted person, I think more than a lot of people realize, because me being around other people brings out my extroversion. So talking to a camera is very strange for me because I'm alone. Like, there's nobody here. It's just me looking into a lens, hoping that somebody watches this video, and there's no actual connection. So I think that's kind of what I figured out as to why I felt kind of weird doing YouTube before. So if you're watching this and you make it through, or if anything that I say today or any other time really resonates with you, please like leave a comment and say something, or send me a DM, you know, follow me on Instagram so that I know that what I'm doing is useful, valuable, impactful, not just like going out into the cosmos. You know, I want my channel to be an exchange of energy, an exchange of light, an exchange of like fun and laughs. Like a lot of the channels that I watch on YouTube, I watch because they feel like home, you know, they feel like a friend, they feel comfortable, they feel similar, you know what I'm saying? They make me laugh, they teach me something, they bring a lightness and a brightness to my day. I think that's kind of like why YouTube was so cool to begin with, and so I want to be a part of that space. I've always wanted to be a part of that space. I've always wanted a YouTube channel ever since I started watching YouTube. I actually recorded my first video in 2011, and ultimately what prevented me even up until this point from being really consistent in a lot of things, but specifically YouTube, any type of social media, any type of like creative venture that I wanted to do, what has really held me back from it for so long has been my self-esteem. And the internet can be a really cool place, and the internet can also be a really like toxic and discouraging place. And I've experienced that, you know, firsthand. So that's kind of like my initial thoughts that I wanted to get off my chest. What I do believe is like we all kind of have these like agreements with each other as we engage with each other online, and it's like if you subscribe, if you watch, if you engage with people's content, it's because there's a certain, you know, expectation of them. When I was originally making videos on YouTube in 2018 or 2019 or whatever that was, my consciousness was so far ahead of where I was in life at that point. Who I was inside was so different than kind of the life that was around me at the time, because I hadn't caught up physically, if that makes any sense. I had changed internally, but things around me were still the same physically. And so And at the same time, I was taking in all of this new information about so many different things, and my mindset was changing about a lot of things like really rapidly. And so it was almost difficult for me to articulate myself in that season because I wasn't quite comfortable with this like new information. I hadn't really quite figured out how I was going to like express this new information that I had taken in, this new kind of belief system I had tapped into, this way that my world had kind of like exploded in the best way. I didn't know how to translate that on camera. And so that's one of the reasons that I stepped away from YouTube. Another reason is because the people who are on my email list and who follow me on Instagram and who follow my Facebook page and even potentially who are subscribed to me on YouTube, a lot of you all got here from one thing in one day. And that one thing in that one day was me talking about how I didn't have sex for 5 years. Of all the things, like of all the things that would like go viral, like of course it would be that thing. And honestly, so much has changed since then. I feel like that's been pretty clear if you read my blog and you follow me on my blog and things of that nature. But if you don't, then it maybe mean making a new type of content on YouTube or content anywhere else could be confusing to you. So I kind of want to lay out a couple of things that have really changed for me in the past couple of years. When I started Dreams of Jasmine, exclusively my blog, I really just had like an online diary. Like my confidence at that time, I'm getting emotional about it because I just think of like, I think of that Jasmine and I just want to give her a hug because my self-esteem at that time, I don't even think I realized, was so low that I never thought anyone was really going to read my blog. I didn't. I was never writing, to make money or to sell courses or to, obtain certain accolades. Like, I literally just was writing because it's always been my creative outlet. It's always been the easiest way for me to get in touch with my feelings. And I just felt like I couldn't be the only one who was going to relate to what I was saying. And that's really why Dreams of Jasmine started. It had always been, it was also a way to hold myself accountable. It's like, okay, I'm going to start this blog. I'm going to tell everybody that I have these dreams and I have these aspirations, and putting them online is going to be a way to hold myself accountable to actually achieve these things. So when my blog post went viral, and it went really viral, like to date, first of all, people still read it every single day. And I surpassed 1 million reads years ago. But for it to be about such like a sensitive subject, with that came a lot of hate, a lot of like rude that was said about me. And words of affirmation is like my top love language. And so when I hear critical words, it's almost like the opposite effect, where like telling me that I'm great and telling me that I'm doing a good job, like it makes me feel so good. And so telling me the opposite makes me feel so bad. And it just started a journey for me. I'm grateful for it, and I wouldn't necessarily go back. But I can't say that like I look back upon the time that I went viral as like this amazing, beautiful time that was so dope in my life. It was really like wild. It led me to a lot of things. It led me ultimately to where I needed to be. But I say all that to say, Sorry, let me take a deep breath and just kind of like regulate a little bit, because that was unexpected emotion that came up. But I'm in a very different spiritual space than I was when I wrote that blog post. And I feel like my blog post went viral kind of during this time where like Instagram preaching, social media preachers were on the come up, on the kind of at their peak, if anything. And a lot of people were like, you're going to be the next social media preacher. And that was like, that was not what I wanted to hear. And that's not what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? At least not in the capacity that I was doing it at the time. And so I want to just establish that from this point forward, this is just going to be like me documenting my journey. Like, I post things on Instagram or on the internet because like I enjoy looking back at them. I was looking back at some of my old videos on this channel from years ago, from 2016, 2015, and they made me smile and they made me laugh. I'm such like a nostalgic person. I'm such a sentimental person, sometimes to a fault, but I just want to like create stuff that I think is cool and that I think is dope, and try to like limit like caring about what other people think about it. I don't want to create from a space of creating from a place of whether people are going to like it or not. So that's another reason why I feel like this channel needs a bit of a reset. And so if you did arrive here based off of finding me in a Christian space, welcome. I'm not that girl anymore. I am not that young woman anymore. I look back on that time, even though it wasn't even that long ago, and I am like, wow, like I'm just not her. I know her, but I'm not her. This is going to be a new and different space. Perhaps I'll call it Just Jasmine. I don't know. I'm just vibing. I'm just vibing on the internet. I'm just vibing with myself. I'm just vibing with God. And I welcome you to join me on the journey. Please let me know if anything that I said in this video resonated with you, if you feel connected. Even if you disagree, that's fine. You're absolutely welcome to voice your opinion in a way that doesn't invalidate mine and in a way that doesn't disrespect me. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this new journey. I'm excited to maybe cry more on the internet. There's so many channels, so many women, especially like on YouTube, that I admire for being like vulnerable on the internet. And I didn't want to be this girl on the internet. I'm telling y'all, like, I wanted to be like the cool girl who like never smiles in pictures, like smokes cigarettes and like vibes and like, you know, like does like moody art. And like, I just don't think it's my calling. I just don't think it's my like my purpose. I really don't, you know, like my state of being is like bubbly, upbeat, optimistic, and positive. And that's how I'm gonna be. Like, that's how I feel most myself, and that's what I'm gonna do. I would love to like be a cool girl, but cool girls come in many different forms. So I just want to thank you guys for being here with me, for taking the time out of your day to listen to what I have to say. It's gonna be a cool journey. Cheers to evolving, and I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is.